Martins.
Can't get a start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grassroot Chats episode 11. Episode 12. The lads are in the building. It is me, your host, MC SaabiiBoi, and Mr. Dwayne P. Frank. And of course, we have the two shiny heads from the Arsenal side of the football world, Big Steve, and of course, Mr. Shiny Head himself, Mike N. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Big Steve? Looking good, looking good.
I'm good. Nice to see you, gentlemen.
Yeah, cool. How you doing,
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
P. Frank? All good?
Fresh as a daisy, feeling good, man. No complaints.
Okay, let's go, Mike. Give us one or two complaints because you always have one. Just give us one or two complaints. Give us one or two complaints.
This is bullying, you know that, innit? It's bullying.
Is it? Anyway, we're going to jump straight right in. First of all, it's been an okay week for Arsenal in the sense of a draw with Sparta Prague, which was kind of
okay.
Which it was kind of a mistake in last minute goal, but I'm assuming the second leg should be way better. And a wonderful 3-0 win to the Arsenal against Sheffield United. But sticking with Arsenal, there was an interesting conversation that Dwayne actually showed me, which was quite interesting. So first of all, just a couple of questions on Arsenal and a wonderful background, Mike. Dwayne showed me a question that was very interesting. So let's say, first of all, there are rumors that in Juve, Pirlo might get sacked because Juve did not get past the level which they got to in the Champions League. And there is the high possibility that they will not win the league as Inter Milan looks like they're going strong.
Might not even get top four.
They might not even get top for a while. If Juve sacks Pirlo, do you think he'll be a fitting match for Arsenal if Arsenal is to get rid of Arteta? Big Steve?
No, because you're to me you're replacing like for like, inexperienced manager for inexperienced manager. If Arsenal decide to get rid of Arteta, then they need to be clear in the direction that they're going, and it should be opposite to what you've already tried, and that'll be reverting to an experienced manager and everything that goes with it.
But you can look at it. So the argument that you can look at it here is that Pirlo is, in terms of accolades and all that, was a better player than Arteta, arguably. And of course, he will probably have more respect in terms coming from the players. And because he comes with such a high quality, he would demand, the same quality back. So the club might be willing to spend more money, and he might be able to attract even more players from other clubs.
Yeah, I don't think Pirlo would sway the Arsenal board into spending more money. I think it would have to be a top-level name brand manager who will be able to bring that kind of mentality change at Arsenal at a senior level. Because not all great players make great managers. In fact, all the best managers are shit players or average players.
Well, you could say that, but Mike, what do you think? In the sense that, do you think Arteta, if Arteta, Arsenal goes, oh, thank you, Arteta, and then they go, oh, who we're going to bring in next? Do you think Pirlo has a different sway or different guy? Do you think he'll bring something different to the Arsenal team?
Yes.
Mike. Yes, I said Mike.
Oh, sorry, I missed that part. No, so listen, he's a top player, but that's irrelevant, really, when it comes to being a manager. Completely irrelevant on every single level. He couldn't do it at Juve. That doesn't mean he can't do it at Arsenal, but he's not. He doesn't get any weight more than Arteta. In management terms, in fact, Arteta will even carry more because he's worked with Pep and stuff like that for a couple of years. Well, what Pirlo done except for being a great player? So he has no links to Arsenal. I can't see the relevance of bringing him. I agree with Steve in terms of they'd want to probably bring somebody more experienced. That doesn't mean necessarily an old manager, but somebody who has had a couple of teams under his belt. Like Tuchel or something like that. He's quite reasonably young, or there's another guy as well. There's a few other people that they could have bring that have at least managed teams and done something. But Pirlo is just a name, just a point.
Yeah, but just a name sometimes could be very good for a team. I mean, Dwayne, when we had this conversation initially, you might think differently from these guys. One, first of all, I think Pirlo is a bigger name than Arteta, so he might be able to attract other players from different leagues. Especially,
Agreed.
I mean, as a player, who would you rather play for in terms of name, Pirlo or Arteta? That's one.
Well,
I also don't think. I also don't think because you worked with Pep makes you great. Many managers over the years worked with Ferguson. Ferguson's probably.
Can I raise a quick point? Can I raise a quick point about you saying about good players? Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the best managers were actually crap players. Arsene Wenger wasn't a great player.
Yep.
A good manager. He wasn't an exceptional player.
Who?
Mourinho wasn't
Okay.
a manager of note, a player of note per se.
Yeah.
Klopp wasn't a player of note, but he's at the moment a very good manager. So, like Steve said, the two don't mean anything. So, yeah, that's great, but he's managing you now. You're not playing with him. Managing you.
Yeah, but we're looking at other sectors of what the name could bring. So yes, being a big name player doesn't mean that you be a big manager, but he has other things, he has other accolades that he can bring to the table. Dwayne, what do you think? Do you think it's a like for like swap? I mean, this is us just being guessing if that was ever to happen. But do you think it's a like for like swap? Do you think he will actually bring more to the Arsenal team? Bearing in mind, managing Juve, he had world-class players, arguably better than the Arsenal players there. So do you think he will actually bring anything to the Arsenal hierarchy?
First and foremost, Pep Guardiola, if you're listening, Ronald Koeman, Luis Enrique, Zinedine Zidane, you are more than average and you are ridiculously good managers. I want to put that out there. All right. So it's not just about these so-called players who were mid-table, okay, that can actually do bits. Okay. Some of them actually do become world-class players. Steve. Okay. So let's get that one out of the way. Second thing, in regards to Pirlo, I 100% agree in the fact that I feel about that brand thing. Now, Pirlo in himself is a serial winner. I do tend to feel that someone like Pirlo, having that serial winning mentality, would be able to get more out of Arsenal than what Arteta currently has at this present moment in time. That's personally how I feel. I also do feel that he would be able to attract better players, better quality to the Arsenal right now. And that's what I genuinely feel. But I've looked at the way that Pirlo has worked with Juventus and he has clashed with the hierarchy. Okay. This is the only issue he may have. The clash has been my way or the highway, right? That's how it's been. He's wanted certain players to come in and he's not necessarily been happy with certain guys. Most notably, it's no secret. He wants to get rid of Dybala. It's no secret. He's not really the biggest fan of him, okay? He loves the youngsters like McKennie, the American guy who's come in and what have you. So he likes his own way. The question is, would Kroenke and co allow him to get his own way? Because if he does, he can do serious bits at Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, I like the way you're shaking your head. Sorry?
Say it again.
He could do serious bits in an inferior team in a better league, but he couldn't do it with a better inferior league.
Whoa. You saying the Premiership is a better league than Serie A right now? Don't get twisted.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh
yes,
my
it is.
God.
It's more competitive. Come on, bro. Don't be stupid.
How can it be more competitive?
How are they more competitive? Who's in the top four right now?
What, in where?
Prem.
I don't pay. Who we got?
Leicester, Man City, Man City, Man United,
Leicester, West Ham, right?
Leicester, West Ham.
Right.
Yeah.
So who would have bet on that in any given season? But
the season isn't finished. The season isn't finished though.
Where's Liverpool?
Liverpool is fifth.
Last season champions.
Liverpool's fifth.
Yep. And they could still finish the season second.
But would it? Okay.
Same with Juventus. Juventus.
So then you prove my point then. So
how?
Because it's a very competitive league. So
it is a very competitive league. But what I'm saying is,
so my definition of better is it being very competitive.
Yeah, but are you saying, first of all, I can understand when you say the Premier League is better than the Italian league.
Because football's about viewing, isn't it?
Based on other factors. But in terms of competition, Juve were the champions. They are
8-9 years in a row.
They are fourth. AC Milan hasn't been in the top four for how long? They are third.
Thank you.
Inter Milan hasn't won the league in how long? They are first.
Thank
So in
you.
terms of
What are we
competition,
talking about here?
How are
What are
you
you
branding
talking
it based
about?
on Liverpool being fifth?
Nah,
And
this.
So
switching.
on a previous show we talked about somebody going to Italy, and everyone said, "Oh yeah, but if you can do it in the Prem, you can do it in Italy, no problem." But now in this show, you're now telling me that the Italian league is better than the Prem.
No, what we said.
No. See, twisted words.
Rewind it. Rewind that episode.
What we said was the pace of the leagues. That's what we said.
That's what we said.
We talked
If we're
about the
talking
pace
about
of
quality,
the league.
It's a better league.
Age.
The Premier League is a better league. It's not even a debate.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing whether the Premier League, generally the Premier League will be better. But if you're basing it on just competition, then
tell like some football connoisseurs. It's a better league. That's it.
Sorry.
Trying to pretend like you're drinking fine wine.
I'm drinking. I'm drinking
Chicken
with
rum.
So will that help?
You know it. I know it. Shit.
Anyway,
Will that help?
to drag it back, what was the question?
The question
He's
is:
asking.
do you think Pirlo will be? Do you in any way see Pirlo being better than Arteta at Arsenal?
No, because Arsenal's problem for many, many years has probably for the last 10 plus years has been investment in the squad. Yeah. Arsene Wenger has been able to work miracles by getting average players to perform above their level. Yeah.
But first of all, what I don't agree with when people say average players is because they are not known doesn't make them average players.
No. It's not about whether they're known or not, but are they, how can I say, playing probably above their level? And he done it time and time again. Yeah, he throughout his Arsenal career, and that's allowed Arsenal to get to the status they got with minimal investment. Yeah, now the league is different. Since Abramovich coming at Chelsea, the league is different. A lot more clubs have a lot more money. Yeah, so we're not just competing with Man United. We've competed with a lot of other teams to get players. Yeah, so the Arsenal board has never been huge investors in the squad. So until you can get a manager that can either convince the board to lay out lots of money, yeah, or you get a manager who can take a group of players and make them play at a high level, yeah, Arsenal's situation won't change. So you can bring in Pirlo. It will be the same. But I don't think he's going to convince the Arsenal board to spend money.
Well, now that you talk about that in terms of spending money and bringing in certain players, so if we move on from the Pirlo situation, so, I mean, you and Mike clearly don't see any difference if Pirlo comes in. Dwayne kind of sees it differently. But if we're moving on now in terms of players, so the rumor out there is that if Arsenal doesn't get to sign Odegaard, that there's a possibility of going for Jesse Lingard. Man like Jay Langs, yo. Jay Langs. So I would like, I mean, how do you, first of all, Dwayne is not a big fan of Jesse Lingard. I don't know why, even if he has been proving him wrong every week. I don't know how Mike thinks about him. Mike, what do you think about Jesse Lingard replacing the likes of Odegaard and Lacazette?
I like Jesse Lingard. Yeah, this season he's been on, you always liked him anyway, but this season he's been on point. I don't know if he can replace Odegaard purely because I don't think they're the same type of player. Not that, that he's not quality. I just, if you bought Odegaard to play a certain way, you can't replace him with Lingard unless you're going to play a different type of way.
So if Arsenal plays a different way and Odegaard isn't there, but they take Emil Smith-Rowe back to where he was playing and Jesse Lingard slots into the middle, don't you think that will work? Because ESR, Emil Smith-Rowe can play where Odegaard plays, right?
But then what's the point of Lingard then?
Yeah, Lingard can kick it in the. I mean, Lacazette, he could replace Lacazette
as a striker.
Well, at least as an attacking striker, where he currently is playing for West Ham. Steve.
No, but if you're gonna play ESR behind this whatever striker we've got, then there's no need for Lingard.
No. So if there's no Odegaard and ESR plays where Odegaard is playing now,
yeah,
and then Jesse Lingard can come in and replace Lacazette.
That's as a striker, like a false nine. He's not though. So
How do you know that he could play? I'm sure he's a better finisher than Lacazette, and the biggest problem you have with Lacazette.
My mom's a better finisher than Lacazette. So what?
Is any chance of your mom coming for the 8 side?
She's better finishing you, to be honest.
No, there's no way she's a better finisher than me. There's no way she's a better finisher than me. I mean, the ball you shot into the heavens is still with Angel Gabriel.
She's still before that.
Steve, what do you think? What's your concern with Jesse Lingard? First of all, apart from the fact that, let's look at it that he's not actually coming to replace Odegaard. Let's just say as an addition to the squad. Do you see it as a good thing?
No, because I don't think he's what we need. Does he improve if he's coming as a squad player? Does he improve the positions that he'll be fighting for? Probably not that much. To me, around Jesse Lingard, it's hype at the moment. He's playing well at West Ham, but what was he doing at Man United? He wasn't making any impacts at Man United.
Yeah, but he wasn't
getting a chance.
I know it was, but there's a reason why he wasn't getting a chance. It's not saying he was injured, and he was injured for 6 months, and then he got fit again, and he went to West Ham. He just wasn't getting selected at Man United.
But surely the reason was they brought Bruno, they had Pogba.
Donny van de Beek.
No, forget him, he's whack. Come on, bro. What are you talking about?
This is the way I look at it. So if he could go to West Ham and he has put them in a position where they could possibly qualify for the Champions League, why do you think he cannot add anything to the Arsenal team? Dwayne, I know you're a wonderful fan of Jesse.
Forget about this guy. He's gonna say no in it.
What do you try and be objective?
Right.
You actually don't see him with the form that he's showing now. You don't see him adding anything to the Arsenal team. Dwayne,
I think it would definitely add things to the Arsenal squad right now. I mean, apparently there was rumours today. I don't know if they're true or not. My guy's being linked with the likes of Inter and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich on PSG. I'm like, what? Now, at the end of the day, the way the guy's playing, he has every right to be getting linked with these teams. Would he be consistent enough? No, of course not. But it is a nice accolade for him, and you got to respect that. Now, if my guy is being linked with these sort of teams, surely this guy can bring something to the Arsenal team. I disagree with what you're saying in regards to him replacing Lacazette, but I'd be very intrigued to see him in the front three. I'd be very intrigued to see him on that left-hand side, but the only issue is he'd be up against the likes of Martinelli and Saka. And what Steve's saying, I feel, is right. Do they need someone else in that forward line? I don't think so. Personally, I think Arsenal need enough a left back because, unfortunately, as dangerous and as good as Kieran Tierney is, getting a few injuries at the moment. So for me, they've got Saka there, but if they get another left back, it'd be better because sacrificing Saka to go left back is not what Arsenal need. So that's my personal opinion.
What was interesting in the Sheffield United game that he didn't sacrifice him, he put Xhaka there.
I didn't see the game.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought that when they picked that 11, that Saka was going to play left back because he left Cedric on the bench. But he actually played Xhaka left back and used Saka in the number 10.
Yeah, but is that okay? He played a mad fluid 4 at the back, 3 at the back, mad thing when sometimes he had 4 at the back, sometimes he had 3 at the back. So
it was a 4. It's just that you wasn't getting Xhaka playing Xhaka left back. You're not going to get the full back going outside the going down the flank. You know what I mean? Overlapping and stuff. Xhaka's going to be solid. He's not going to go too far past the halfway line.
Well, I don't know why he didn't play Cedric there, but.
I think he must have. Yeah, I think he must have kept him in reserve for Thursday,
because he knew that Sheffield were whack.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're talking about the consistency of Jesse Lingard, which first of all, he was very consistent till last season, where he started having personal issues and all that. Obviously, affected him on the pitch, and then Solskjaer wasn't giving him enough time on the ball and in games because, as you said, he had Bruno, Pogba, and other players that were coming in and doing these things. And it was no secret that we wanted Sancho because he wanted somebody. And then, of course, Greenwood and all these boys were coming into form. But then as a player, in terms of consistency, if you look at, apart from last season, and if you look at things he did for Man United before, playing for England, and what he's doing for West Ham now, I don't think it's a fluke. It's not.
No, I rate him. He's a good player.
I don't think it's a fluke. So if you genuinely think he cannot add anything whatsoever, I mean, if the rumors are true, and Arsenal actually,
I think, as I said, I think he adds to the squad. He adds to the squad. Does he add to the first team if everyone's fit? I don't see where he plays. Are you going to play him in the middle alongside Partey? Because I don't think he gets into the attacking line. If you got Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Lacazette, Aubameyang, I don't think he. But coming on off the bench in what a role that Willian should be doing at present, does he give something? Yes, he would do, because he's better than certain players in the squad. But is he someone that we should be going to as a starting 11 in the starting 11? I don't think he does give us that, and he's definitely not what we need at this moment in time.
Well, in terms of what you need, though, moving forward, now the question is, should Arsenal fans start looking at life beyond Aubameyang?
Yes.
Yes. not the fact that he's poor. It's just a case of that he's 31 now, if I remember rightly, and there should be some succession planning.
Well, the man. Okay, first of all, I understand that this is the way I look at it. So he had a very brilliant last season,
and he's got his crisscross dreads.
And what, sir?
And he's got his crisscross dreads now.
And then
for whatever reason, he is not doing the jump either.
And then this season, he is not doing anything wonderful, which is understandable. However, maybe it could just be a blip, and he could actually come back to being himself. He has had a lot of off-field issues and blah blah blah. So you actually don't see him turning this around whatsoever.
I think, how can I say, in order to turn it around, Arsenal need to be clear in what role they want him to play. If we're playing him as a main striker, play him as a main striker. Don't sacrifice his abilities to play him on the left. And also,
he has had his best form on the left, though.
He had a good end of the season, but we had different players, and we was playing a different way, where the ball was much quicker to the forward line. So he would find himself in situations where he's one-on-one with a fullback, and then he can rip them a new one and then score. But the way Arsenal's build up is at the moment is too slow. So by the time the forward line are getting the ball, excluding, say, Slavia Prague and Sheffield United, teams can double up against them. So the guys on the flanks don't get any freedom and stuff. And then the other thing is, I don't think that the captaincy is helping him. I think he got that by default, and he's kept it. But his personality, to me, doesn't come across as one that wants to lead and be the figurehead of the club and deal with all the stuff that comes with captaincy. There's other characters probably better suited to that in the starting lineup.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Dwayne, what do you think is just the curse of the 350,000 a week? Do you think Aubameyang is done from an outside view, or do you think it's just a bad season and he'll come good? I mean, he has played 25 times for Arsenal and he has 9 goals, 1 assist. I mean, considering the fact that Arsenal has been very up and down, inconsistent, it's not, if he scores about 2 or 3 or 4 more goals at the end of the season, you don't say it's a bad season, would you?
I'm going to be ruthless with Aubameyang because for me, he has dropped 2 levels, okay, this season, right? So I've got a certain level of players, right? You got elite, you got world class, then you got intercontinental class, then you got good and whatever else, right? So for me, Aubameyang for the past 4 or 5 years, excluding this season, has been elite. I'm talking Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi levels. I'm putting him up there with Lewandowski and them lot because my guy, if you look at his records for Dortmund and Arsenal over the last 4 or 5 years, has been serious. Minimum 30 goals in all competitions, guaranteed, okay? This season, 25 games or whatever you just said, 9 goals is not enough for Aubameyang. don't matter where he plays, whether you play him out wide, whether you play him through the middle, he's missed some chances this season. And that's not the Aubameyang that we all know in world football. That's not him.
And he doesn't look happy.
He don't look. Thank you, Steve.
Doesn't look happy.
He does not look happy.
That's all the off-field situation,
right?
though.
He's
not
doing.
It's a tough
He's not
time
doing.
with COVID.
Yeah, I understand that, but normally he's like Dwight York and Ronaldinho, always skinning teeth. No matter what, he's always skinning teeth. Right? Gets off the floor and he does his thing. You know, he does his flips. He's calm. But this season, I understand what's been going on with his mother and what have you, but he always brings it on the pitch, no matter what. He always brings it on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It hasn't happened from this season. He will not be happy with 14, 15 goals in all competitions or wherever it is at the end of the season. And I think he can come back. He's, like Steve said, he's only 31. All right. I don't think his time's gone. I think he's only 31. I think he can have a good season next season. But I 100% agree with Steve. They need to know where they're going to play this guy. And they need to stick with it. Just stick with it.
What do you think? What do you think, Mike? Should we start counting down the end of Aubameyang or give him another season? And just to throw that in there, if you're getting rid of, people that are not living up to expectations, will you get rid of Aubameyang and get rid of your very good friend Lacazette?
Listen, I'll pack his bags for him now. He can waste man. I love that guy though. His work rate. Yeah, if I could combine Lacazette work rate and Aubameyang's previous finishing, top player, but they're like two halves of the same coin. So Lacazette needs to learn how to finish like Aubameyang because his finishing is woeful. Aubameyang doesn't like to do the hard work, and when he does the hard work, his finishing suffers. So that's why he's getting dropped in place of a man who can't finish, aka Lacazette. So Aubameyang gets 350. His form drops. What kind of mentality is that? You're the captain. You're highest paid player, best player in the team apparently. You start moving like a waste man. What's that? What's that about? Turning up late and all that sort of stuff. That's a lack of winning mentality. That's he's getting comfortable. That's the Ozil thing again. So for me, if we can cash on it, and also the other thing is being ruthless, like Dwayne said, we're not going to be able to cash in on this guy much longer. I don't know what his value is now, but you got to look at it. We've got one more good season out of him, possibly, maybe, before he becomes like a support striker. His resale value is as high as now. To be honest, we need to look for the future. So
Lacazette has 13 Premier League goals in 27.
Yes, 13 Premiership misses, mate.
He has 13 Premier League goals in 27 appearances. That's actually not bad.
That's not good either. That's not good.
The game.
That's not good either. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. Yeah, no disrespect to Lacazette, but that's similar amount of goals as Bamford and Watkins, right? Lacazette needs to be doing better.
Yeah,
the problem I think that Arteta has with Lacazette is that Lacazette seems to be better at combining and playing with the youngsters, like Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli. He seems better at leading them.
Well,
I agree.
That's because they have the same energy levels as he produces.
Yeah, so
they have the same energy levels as he produces.
Yeah, he seems to have a better fit. So, and those guys at the moment need to play.
Can I just say, by the way, Lacazette's conversion rate is probably worse than Bamford or your guy Dwayne. The man this is, if those guys were playing for Arsenal, they'd probably have 18, 19, 20 goals by now. The guy misses on a daily basis.
To me, the problem Arsenal have at the moment, especially in the forward line, is that we're trying to play a formation and the players that we have are not best suited to that formation. Because there's an argument that Lacazette and Aubameyang playing together up top as a front two will probably be better than either one of them playing up top.
But it don't suit what we're trying to achieve, so we can't play it.
Say again?
But it's not going to suit the way it's not going to suit the rest.
Yeah, I know. So it's not going to suit. So we play one up top. So something's got to give somewhere.
Because last season, Aubameyang was scoring, but we were leaking goals left, right, and centre. This season, leak less goals. Let's score, but Aubameyang scores less.
And I think that's the right way to go about it, because it's the best defenses that are more successful over the course of a season. So you got to plug the gaps. You've got to plug it and be more solid at the back.
Well, it is all good. We wish Arsenal the very, very best in plugging.
Come off the boys, yeah. What is Martinelli's best position? They do the same thing to him that they do to Aubameyang. Play on the left.
Martinelli, for me, his position that he's going to end up in is going to be a central striker. And I think you could actually probably play him there, but I think Martinelli's problem is himself. He doesn't know how to manage his game in terms of he does everything at 100 miles an hour.
That's our test job then, isn't it?
Yeah, so he needs to be coached along them lines, because he does everything at 100 miles an hour. He'll press everything when he's not supposed to press everything.
So you think Martinelli's best position is going to be through the middle as a top 9?
Yeah.
I don't.
Where do you think he'll be?
I think his energy levels are way too high. I think he can be nurtured and he can become a Rashford kind of a Henry kind of player. I think.
Yeah. But
a lot of people. I think I've had this conversation with Dwayne before. Playing through the middle is a very, very, very different style that you need. You need about 3 things. 1, you need that awareness. And you need to recognize that you can go through 90 minutes and touch the ball 5 times. But what you do in those 5 times. Number 2, your hold-up play. I know a lot of players talk about, when people talk about hold-up play, they talk about the likes of Drogba and the old boys. What's his name? The likes of Shearer, those guys that could just hold play. But in modern day football, you need to be able to do both. You need to be able to hold the play and recognize. So, see what Harry Kane is doing, which I think is very impressive. He has actually learned to hold the ball and not actually do anything with it other than just hold, distribute, and make the run. And then, of course, the third one is, as I said, be good in the box, get some kind of awareness in terms of, the best striker at the moment with that in-box awareness is Cavani. So playing through that middle, and that's why when they put Rashford there in the middle for Man United, he struggles. Because it's tough. The energy levels and wanting to run on the ball and get past the player and all that, it's very difficult for them to play through the middle.
Yeah, but Thierry Henry was a central striker. He wasn't. He would drift out to the left to receive the ball and do stuff. So Martinelli plays as a central striker. I'm not saying he can't drift to the left, but to me, Martinelli don't play on either flank because the boy can't cross, and his direction is towards goal. He's not looking to set up. He's going for goal. So give him.
Henry didn't cross the ball that much either. He had an eye for a pass, but he didn't cross the ball that much. And
but he would drift out to the left to get the ball.
The reason Henry was always drifting out to the left because he wanted to use his pace.
Yeah.
There was no way he wasn't going to stand still like the Van Nistelrooys that were happy to pass it, move, run into the box, and all this kind of stuff.
Agreed. So I'm not saying I'm not saying Martinelli is going to be one of those ones that stick up the top like a Giroud of Van Nistelrooy and wait for the ball to come. I think he will drop deep, pick up the ball, and try and get involved in play. But to put him out on either flanks, to me, you kind of lose his energy. Yeah. And I think he's only 2021, so he can grow. Yeah. And I think him playing as a central striker is where he would end up because he has the ability to hold the ball at the moment, to beat a player, and also have the pace to go in behind. So it's about his learning.
So is the only reason why he's not essential now because you sound like he's better than Lacazette, from what you're saying. I agree.
It's probably experience. It's probably experience is why he's not playing. Because would you and then I think they with Martinelli and Emil Smith Rowe, they're both players that worry me in terms of whenever they get touched, they might be injured. To be honest, and I think they just have to manage their game.
We'll talk about Martinelli and ESR and all these boys managing their games soon. We need to move forward because of time and all that story. However, we're going to jump straight into the wonderful, sweet decisions that came out this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw the foul situations that happened in the game against Burnley versus Newcastle. And of course, the wonderful Scott McTominay and Son. So now we're gonna start with the Newcastle v Burnley. This guy literally kicks this guy's head. imagine Mike's shiny head going for a header, and I just whack it with my boots.
Impossible.
And then the ref looks at it and says, no foul whatsoever. Not so it's one of those, the defender doesn't see the striker coming. And then he's going to clear the ball, but the striker beats his head to the ball first, and he kicks the head. And this guy the ref says it's not a foul. VAR says it's not a foul. So that's one. Two, Scott McTominay. The son is obviously trying. He's like, okay, one of them "don't touch me" kind of situation. Son goes down like he has been sniped by some U.S. Army sniper.
A bit like when Solskjaer done that to Sol Campbell.
No, that's not what we're talking about here. There was no VAR at the time. there was no VAR at the time. And Solskjaer was on the ground for some time, but he didn't have all his teammates gather around him and start treating him like he had been shot by a sniper. So, do you actually think the Scott McTominay situation was a foul, Dwayne?
First and foremost, I didn't see either one of these situations.
What are you doing with your Sunday, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was probably watching Serie A, but even now, I still don't know about these situations. I haven't seen them.
I'll tell you what, man. Google them. Mike, what do you think?
So the Son one, yeah. Obviously, McTominay slapped him in the face a little bit, yeah. But it wasn't enough for him to go down. So the issue for me is, yeah, okay, he's giving him a bit of a slap and get off me. We all do it. But if anything, it's more of Son play acting because it's not enough contact. It's not enough contact for him to go down. So
before you continue, football is a contact sport, right? Which means that in certain situations there will always be contact. Doesn't make it a foul.
Yeah.
So now my issue with the situation is that the VAR said McTominay wasn't in a normal running position.
He slapped him in the face. Let's not lie about it.
No, but he did not actively. He was every player does that where you're tackling and they like swing their hand out. So it's not like he stopped, looked at him, and then palmed him in the face. He just
what's the intention of the hand back? Is it not to slap the guy in the face, move him off you?
So you actually think that the hand went out intentionally to slap him in the face?
Yeah, to push him off. Where it hits him. My point is not that. I'm not calling it a foul. I'm just saying that for me, Son made a meal of it. And then they didn't even stop. Even if it was a foul, they should have stopped it with the slap. They let these guys play on for like 10 minutes first and score a goal before they called it back.
The question is, first of all, do you think it was a foul?
No, not enough contact for it to be a foul.
Steve, what do you think?
I don't think it was a foul. When I see incidents like that, if a professional footballer ever comes up to me in an argument, I'll have no problem knocking them out because I think they're all pussies when I see them behave like that.
There's something out in the air tonight, man.
It's true though.
Even Big Steve is knocking people out.
It's true. No, but it's true. When you see man go down for just minimal contact like that, you think to yourself, what is that about? You know what I mean? It's just not enough for it to be a foul, to be honest. And then the reaction is even worse. To be rolling around on the floor and all that, it's nonsense.
What do you think about, so like someone, like a player's through on goal, yeah? A goal, right? And he gets a little bit of a pull in the jersey.
Little
pull in the jersey. And then so rather than go palm the guy off, like McTominay did, because someone's pulling his shirt, right? Yeah. McTominay, he pushed him off and carried on. What do you think about players who just stop and go, ref, look at that, he's pulling my shirt, and then basically
and you're through on goal?
Yeah, you're through on goal.
The player didn't think he's gonna finish.
Yeah, that's lack of confidence. That's pure lack of confidence. If someone gets pulled,
they're probably bearing down on me and goal. That's why they decided to go that way.
Yeah, that's poor. That's poor.
Do you Mike,
you can't be pulled, and then but you know that you've got the strength to get away from the man and finish, and you pull up. No,
so you know the incident that Mike is describing, it could happen in many ways. So first of all, you say Dwayne, were you a witness to this situation? Do you know what Mike is talking about?
No, what game?
I'm taking this last Saturday.
So So they gave me the ball. This is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh snap! They're talking about you. Oh snap! Oh shame! I thought you were talking about a Premiership game.
So I'm
Where
very
was
happy. I'm very
quality.
very happy that Dwayne was there. He doesn't remember. So
Oh,
and
wow.
according to Mike called me when McTominay did that. He said, "Oh, that's what I should have done." So the ball came to me. You know, I do what I do. I beat the player clean. This guy grabs my shirt. I try to run. I can't run. And instead of me to go swing my hand and get a foul, I just go ref, and the ref gives the free kick. According to Mike, I should have punched him in the face. I should have elbowed him in the gut. I'm like, if I did that, that was a foul. Like,
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
That means then the McTominay went foul then, because McTominay did what you should have done, and you said it's not a foul.
No, yeah, but you said I should intentionally hit him in the face.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. So McTominay, hold on. Was Son through on goal and McTominay poured him? What are we talking about?
No, man. Dwayne, you need to Google this and watch this, man. It'd be hard to describe. It'd be hard to describe. And
Son wasn't close enough to grab McTominay's shirt.
Son was actually trying to grab McTominay. If you look at it,
okay.
he was trying to grab him.
So he was trying to stop a counter attack.
No, so McTominay had the ball and McTominay was trying to push forward. But Son is trying. You know when the player pushes the ball past you and you're trying to like almost grab them, McTominay is just trying to like let me go. And his hand just goes in the face.
I need to see it.
So you need to see that. And then, so I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the refs got it wrong. Then yesterday, West Brom versus Southampton. Dieng scores a very clean goal. Now the assistant ref puts his flag up saying it was an offside. We could all see that Dieng was onside. From all the replays, he was onside. But VAR stuck to that decision because they didn't have the right angle.
I heard about that.
Yeah, sorry.
I heard about it, but that's to me, that's dodgy and corruption.
They bottled it.
No, they didn't bottle it. It's corrupt. It's corrupt, mate. Because how can you not have the right angle? Do you know how many cameras VAR's got?
And do you know how many? I mean, if all of us could see clearly from the replays, what angle do they need?
You need exactly the one from above.
I mean, I know that VAR has done some good. Make no mistake, it has gotten some very good decisions this season. But the bad ones it has gotten has been rubbish.
VAR is a good system. The way it's been implemented is poor because this league seems to be suffering it more than anyone. Instead, other leagues introduced it before here, but here decided to introduce it and change the rules as well. to me, VAR shouldn't have any power to actually give a decision on the pitch. The limit of their remit should be: we've reviewed a decision, and the referee should go to the sidelines and review it. And then the referee makes that decision. He looks at it again, and then he makes a decision. The person sitting in Stockley Park, wherever it is, should not make a decision. They should just say, you need to review it.
What happens is that, so because they say it's supposed to be for a clear and obvious situation, clear and obvious error. So when they send the referee to the monitor on the pitch, is for him, okay, we might need your own, you're the head ref, so you make the decision. So that's why he was sent to the monitor to make the decision for McTominay. And he bottled it, man. He didn't want to go against, oh God, this fact that they've sent me there. It was, so personally, man, I just think it is, if us that sits at home and probably have like 3 or 4 cans and we can still see things clearly, I don't understand why it is so difficult. Why is it so difficult to make a decision? Why is it so difficult to just be, I've made a wrong decision, let's do this? You
just said exactly the right thing. I've made a wrong decision. And then to actually swallow humble pie and say, you know what, I got it wrong.
That's the whole point of VAR, though, is to eradicate your wrong decision.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still people admitting that they made the wrong decision in the first place. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. I'm supposed to see it first time. Yeah. Someone's told me to go and look at it, and then, oh, actually, I've got it wrong. Whoops, sorry, guys.
No, but you're a human being watching it in real time, just very fast, and then you're watching it on the screen in slow motion with lines and angles. Clearly,
fully understand that, Mike. But even though it's still for the person to admit that they've got it wrong, and people just don't do that easily.
Well, a very simple situation. If Dwayne, I'll start with Dwayne. Do you see VAR improving? Do you see it improving to the point that you could actually get 99.9% of decisions right?
I don't know whether it actually needs to actually improve. It's the people behind it in the UK who need to improve. Because if it's working so well across the rest of Europe and the world, it's the UK flopping the show again, man. It's what we do. It's a normal thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing with the COVID situation. How are we still in the situation? Australia's up and running and everything.
Stay sports.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? But it's the same thing, man. UK, for whatever reason, we just seem to get it wrong with this VAR, man. The rest of Europe is calm. So I don't think it actually needs to be done. It's the people behind it.
Well, I guess we're all in agreement. Well, to move forward. Now, this is a conversation I had with Dwayne loads of times. And it's about the wonderful England, the English team going to the Euros.
Oh.
So now my major concern here is we're not going to talk about the entire team, but we're going to talk about the right back position. Back position. There was a major debate that I had that was on initially where people are talking about should Trent Alexander-Arnold be chosen? Should he go to the Euros based on what has happened to him this season? Now, I like Trent. I mean, he plays for the dirty red side of Liverpool, but I like him. I think he's a good defender. However, my problem with Trent is that they seem to spend a lot more of the time talking about his attacking than his actual defending. But he's a defender. And yes, I know the modern game means you have to run in and you have to do blah, 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 but then you're a defender. Now, my issue is that when they're talking about the right back, they're talking about the likes of Trent, Trippier, Reece James, and how can there not be any mention of Aaron Wan-Bissaka? There's really no reason why Aaron Wan-Bissaka should not be on that plane. I mean, the rumor is that he's actually considering, because he has only played the friendly for England, he's considering playing for, I think it's Congo, where his family comes from, because he doesn't see himself being selected for England. He's doing everything you want from a right back. Yes, he has some attacking play, but maybe he's not known. He's not as good as, I think, the likes of Kyle Walker and Trent and all those people. They're better, but he's learning. But the truth of the matter, as a defender, you can't really mention too many. So now it's very simple. Who would you take for a right back for England? And if you have to pick between Wan-Bissaka and Trent, so let's say you take Kyle Walker, you take Trippier, you take Reece James, and you want one more slot. Who would you pick? Trent or Wan-Bissaka? Or out of every other person I've called, who would you drop and who would you take? But should Wan-Bissaka be on your list regardless? Mike.
So Wan-Bissaka is probably the best or one of the best at one-on-one defending, yeah? But if you've got people in there who are almost as good or equally as good as one-to-one, so your Reece James and your Kieran Trippiers, then you don't need Wan-Bissaka. So the question isn't Wan-Bissaka or Trent, because Trent is different from all of them. The question is, so really Trent should be there anyway, just from the fact that he offers you something different to most of them anyway. So the question really should be, why is Wan-Bissaka not replacing one of the ones that he's the more defensive-minded defenders, really? So why is he not replacing Reece James, or why is he not replacing Kieran Trippier? Because I don't think it's a comparison, because we've all just said that Trent can't defend. So and that Wan-Bissaka can, so you can't them. They're different types of right back.
Yeah, but then once again, the plaudits and the accolades should not be given to a defender that knows how to attack, that doesn't actually know how to defend.
No, but it depends what you're looking for. But remember, you can take 3 right backs, yeah? So you can take two right backs. You can take a mix.
You can take as many. It depends on how you want to balance the team as the manager.
Let's say you take 3. You can take one who's out and out fully defensive when you want to park the bus. You can take one who can actually is really good attacking, get the ball cross, a goal threat, and then you're going to get one good delivery. You have one in between. So in the spectrum of right backs, Trent is at the most attacking end, and Wan-Bissaka is probably the most defensive of the ones you mentioned.
He's the most defensive doesn't mean he's the most defensive doesn't mean he can attack. So Steve, look at this. If England goes to the Euros, and if they want to win the Euros, you're at some point going to play the likes of France. You're going to have Mbappe there.
So even before you go there, I'll answer your question. Yeah, right. Wan-Bissaka and Trent Alexander-Arnold have to be in that squad, right? Because Trent gives you the most going forward. So there's going to be games when you're dominating, but there's going to be games where the England backline isn't the best, yeah, and you're gonna be up against a left winger who you need a very top defender against him. And as we said in the conversation, Wan-Bissaka is one of the better one-on-one defenders. I haven't seen many, if anyone, outdo him in a game over the course of 90 minutes and make him look very, very average. I haven't seen that. JJ, you'll know more because you watch Man United more often. So both of those guys have to be on the plane. Yep. The third one for me is Walker, has to be on the plane because of his flexibility. He can play as a centre back and he's a very good right back going forward and back. Yeah. Reece James and Trippier is a toss up to me. But the three that have to go, Trent, Walker, and Wan-Bissaka. Because I hear what you're saying about people judging fullbacks on their attacking rather than their defending. It's a bit, but that's modern football because look, you're getting goalkeepers being judged on how good they are with their feet and not saving the ball.
It's modern football, however, and this is once again, I think me and Dwayne have had this conversation, and I asked Dwayne this. It's modern football, yes, but then Liverpool plays in a way that they allow Trent to do all the attacking or everything attacking. Everything comes through the wing backs. Robertson on the left, Trent on the right. And they played it so well last season. And because they had Van Dijk and Gomez, and they had the likes of Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum, those guys can drop
disciplined midfield.
Yep,
exactly.
So they were so tight. So it was okay for Trent to do all this running forward. And he wasn't caught out defensively. This season, other teams have stepped up. They have caught up to their style of play. So that playing on the wing, and of course, they had some injuries. He has been exposed. He has been exposed badly. Has been exposed so badly that you have, I can't remember, it was a game Liverpool play. I think Liverpool play, I think it was, actually, the first time I actually noticed that, look, Trent can be caught out easily. I remember Pepe's first game against Liverpool. My good God. It was like the orchestra. The guy, Pepe was just throwing his left leg. Trent was running forward and being so confused with just one or two shoulder feints. But, Dwayne, what do you, in terms of, first of all, do you agree with praising defenders for their attacking more than their defending?
I guess they defend first, surely.
Not in this lifetime. Trent Alexander-Arnold does not go to the Euros for me whatsoever. Okay. At the end of the day, I want you to defend first before you attack, right? That's the first thing. Now, I'm taking Kyle Walker exactly for the reason that Steve said, that versatility. I'm taking Trippier for the same reason as Steve said, that versatility, because my guy can play left back. He's actually going to go as my right back stroke left back.
True, I forgot about that.
So I'm taking him as far as that's concerned. Also, last time I checked, Trippier can take free the same way Arnold can. So I'm taking him for that, right? I'm taking Reece James over Arnold because Reece James is physically in better shape, can hold off people a lot better, and he's a better defender than him, and he can get forward, as he's shown time and time again for Chelsea. I don't need Trent Alexander-Arnold. Simple things.
What about Wan-Bissaka then? So
Wan-Bissaka, I'm taking as well. So Wan-Bissaka, I'm taking.
No, yeah, but he's using Trippier as a double, isn't he?
I'm using
Walker as a double.
Yeah. So in regards to, because when it comes to knockout stages, I'm sorry, I'm licking my lips if I'm Mbappe or Thorgan Hazard or Eden Hazard or all these bros. If I see Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm just going to wait for you to go forward. I'm going to exploit your space the same way that Grealish did it when they beat him 7-2. Do you know what I mean? Same way Pepe did as well. I'm gonna exploit that. Nah, Trent Alexander, you stay your ass at home, mate. Stay your ass at home.
Fair enough, but isn't that based Trent going forward or not? Isn't that based on how whatever the plan for the manager? So for Liverpool, he always goes forward because that's how Liverpool play. But for England, he may not necessarily do that.
Yeah, but he goes forward for Liverpool all the time because they're playing to his strengths. They're playing to his strengths. You have the same thing for England. So, for example, like the likes of Jimmy Carragher saying, "Oh my God, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the Kevin De Bruyne of left backs."
Yeah,
and saying very funny things like that, and saying how one day the way he plays, he could actually play midfield.
Nah, never.
He said, no, that's what they think. I mean, if you look at the comparisons between Wan-Bissaka and Trent, they both played 29 games for their clubs. Both have 2 goals. Trent has 4 assists. Wan-Bissaka has 2. But then if you're looking at the defending aspect, Wan-Bissaka has 13 blocks. How many does Trent have? 1.
Yeah, but you've got other players that can do that though.
Trent could end up play right midfield.
Wan-Bissaka has 53 interceptions. Trent has 36.
Yeah, but you're still talking about a squad where you've got other defenders that can do that. So the whole point is about versatility. So we talked about Walker can play centre back, Trippier can play left back, etc., etc. So it's not really a direct comparison between.
Yeah, but the numbers show show that a one-on-one situation. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching. I think in a tournament, I watch everybody play. The football is on. I watch it. When you look at, there's a reason why. If you go back to Arsenal for a minute, there's a reason why Arteta dropped Bellerin and was playing Cedric, because there was no dancing or messing about. It was one-on-one. You attack the guy, you push the ball forward, and you pass it off. There's no thinking about walking down the runway or thinking you're some fashion icon. There was nothing. It was just hardcore football. Let's go. The same thing with if you watch Villa play, McTaggart, that I know Dwayne. Dwayne loves this guy.
Any new so shiny head Vaseline guy needs to get sponsorship. How about that?
If you put your baby on the pitch, McTaggart will kick it. He's
100.
He
don't care.
He's business. He doesn't care about it. Reece James has a very good balance. He likes to go forward and he's tough physically. But when you look at Trent, yes, going forward, you could probably argue he probably is better than loads of even midfielders. But then you are a defender, though. You are a defender.
Yeah, but I think in a tournament you've got room for both.
Yeah,
you do, because there's gonna be games where you're playing against a side where Trent will come in useful and he will create,
and they're parking the bus
because of his style of play. So you need that coverage.
Yeah, but Wan-Bissaka can go forward.
But he won't. His delivery isn't going to be as good, and that moment Trent can do something, because from an attacking point of view, I'm not saying that defensively he's getting in the squad for his defensive capabilities, but there's going to be games where if you're thinking about going last deep into the tournament, that against certain sides they're going to park the bus. You're going to need Trent to open them up. Yeah,
and wait,
but if you get France, then you need to pick your squad and say, "Well, I need a better right back." So then you pick a Kyle Walker or Wan-Bissaka.
But Steve, don't you think that before we talk about beating France in the semi-final, you have to beat someone like Yugoslavia? It's like,
the dead teams.
Beforehand,
you have to beat the dead teams. And Trent might play. It might be one of those ones. Trent plays all your group games. And then as soon as you get to the serious business of the tournament, all of a sudden, certain other men come in.
I don't think managers would probably prefer to pick an 11, regardless of who they're playing, because if Trent plays all the group games, then all of a sudden against France, you bring in Wan-Bissaka.
Because he's coming in to do a job, mate. They train together. They train together. So at the end of the day, you just do your job, what you're in the side to do. If I bring Wan-Bissaka in against France, and I'm telling him, you know what, forget about defending. I want you to be bombing down the right and crossing the ball in. That's stupid. Yeah. If I'm bringing down in Wan-Bissaka because I know defensively he's better, and their main threat is coming from the left, that's just smart management. You have to pick an 11 to address the game that you're playing. Yeah, but then, if Gareth Southgate is thinking that the team he picks in the first game, right, is going to be the same team he picks in the semi-final, and he's not got the same opponents, he's on crack, and he shouldn't be there. He's on crack. That's tournament football. You've got to pick the side to beat the opposition, as well as nullify their strengths. Yeah, and all good managers do that.
Okay, but this is okay. I'm going to make this even. Let's just make this better. Simple situation. You have to pick Wan-Bissaka or Trent. Dwayne, who do you pick?
Saka.
Mike?
Who's in the squad already?
Is this for England?
Yes, for England. You have to pick.
Who's in the squad already, though? It depends who's in the squad.
Answer the question. You have to pick.
Who's in the squad already? I can't pick without knowing who's in the squad.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You're the England. Okay, since you want to make this sweet, let's make this sweet.
Yeah,
Let's make this sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, the England manager, Mike Wilshere, will be giving his team selection for the England team for Euros, and we would like him to mention the players he would like to select for the Euros. And Mike, cameras are going. Another story.
Who's the opponent?
Could you please tell us your 23-man squad for the Euros?
No, first 11, you know, 23, you know.
23.
You know what? You know what? Wan-Bissaka is at home. That's it. Wan-Bissaka ain't coming. Okay, he ain't coming. Taking Trent, I'm taking Trippier, I'm taking Reece. Done. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize. This is our first manager from Hackney, so everything is a fight.
Julian is a Man United supporter. That's why he's talking about Wan-Bissaka. That's the only reason. That is a fraudulent
I would.
Fraudulent question.
No, it's not a fraudulent question. It's a very simple question. You're praising defenders because they can attack.
I'm not.
I would pick Wan-Bissaka because the back line of England is not great defensively against a half decent attack.
So Steve, who are you leaving at home?
Yeah, who leaving at home?
To be honest, I didn't think about the Trippier playing left back option. So
why do you take a right back to play left back instead of playing a left back?
No, it's not. He's not. You're not picking him to be a left back, but you have cover at left back. So you have versatility because if you're taking two people, and stuff, like for example, Kyle Walker's a good example. He can play centre back, he can play right back. So then you don't need to take more. So then that gives you more options up front.
Preach.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
With the Trippier option, I'll probably leave James at home. To be honest, I'll probably leave James at home.
Ooh.
Probably.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a sweet end of this episode of Grassroot Chats.
Is it finished already? Oh man!
Yeah, it is. It's that time.
This guy wastes time chatting bollocks. That's why
we didn't talk about the Masters. We didn't talk about Prince Philip and how they're moving all the fixtures on Saturday, innit?
But DMX dying, no Prince.
No DMX, no, but DMX is not affecting football, is he?
He is.
Man, how? the best. First of all, one of the best. Speaking about DMX, one of the first lines, or the best lines for DMX is, which we translate as, "You need to make money in this world." Remember, you know that part in the song with Cisco, "What do bitches want?"
Oh yeah.
Where he goes, when I think about when a nigga didn't have, when a nigga told a joke and the bitches didn't laugh. It just reminds me of all the broke times I've had in this life.
I must say that DMX best concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Best concert I've ever been to, Stratford Rex. I can't remember what it was.
Stratford Rex.
The amount of energy that was in that place. The place was bouncing, man.
Yeah, we're supposed to go to Gods of Rap.
Yeah, Gods of Rap 2020. We're supposed to go. Me, Mike, and Sam. And they kindly refunded our money and told us that we couldn't go. I mean, Mike was ready to get COVID for that concert, man. He was ready.
Oh dear, but yeah, it's mad, man. 50 years old, man. Wow.
Don't worry. With Mike's shiny head, he can replace him soon. Can replace him. Yes, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Big Steve, it's been a pleasure. Mike, it's been good. Thank you for having us. Dwayne P. Frank, a pleasure as always. Keep giving us the predictions. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's good night from me, and we shall see you soon.
I